What's happening in Venezuela? Nicolas Maduro is in US custody. Moreover, Madame no, that other lady, Machado, the Nobel Prize winning vampire, that lady, she met Trump and gave her Nobel Prize to Trump and then tried to satisfy Trump's ego. Well, she gave her Nobel Prize to Trump as tribute to Trump and to placate his ego, right? Moreover, however, Delcy Rodriguez and the military seem ready to cooperate, and the US has no issues. Will the US be really able to extract oil from Venezuela and profit from it? And have they started moving in this direction? And how do you see this new game of not changing the entire regime, but aligning the regime in a way that supports your interests? How is this game? Okay, what's happening? So they'll see. So this lady, Machado, the Nobel Prize winner, she went to the White House and she presented her Nobel Prize medal to Trump, and she bowed down to him, and maybe she kissed his feet or something. Whatever she did, she seeks to rule Venezuela. Okay, she has been saying this for a very long time. The moment I become, we will. The moment I come to power, I will hand over the whole of Venezuela, all its industries, everything to the US. We will make it very easy for American companies to operate in Venezuela. You come and take our resources, extract everything, plunder, pillage, kill, whatever you want. It's all yours. That's what she's been saying. This lady is a vampire. She's a blood-sucking ghoul. That's what this Machado lady is. I mean, the Nobel Prize has zero legitimacy now. Zero credibility after someone like her getting it. And the Nobel Committee has made it very clear that the Nobel Prize cannot be transferred to someone. And it can't be revoked. And yet she has attempted to transfer it to Trump. And Trump is pleased. Yes, he's pleased, isn't he? So that's the deal with this lady, Machado. But Delcy Rodriguez, who was the vice president of Venezuela under the presidency of Nicolas Maduro, he now is the ruler of, she governs Venezuela now. And the military is aligned with her. Right? And she has indicated that she is willing to cooperate with the United States. Now, what does the US seek in Venezuela? The US seeks complete control over Venezuela's natural resources, energy resources. Venezuela has plenty of gold, but more than that, it has plenty of oil. 20%, roughly 20% of the world's proven oil reserves. This oil is extra heavy oil. It's sour crude oil. It's not sweet, light crude. Very difficult to process. What do you do with sour, extra heavy crude? You may turn it into diesel, or you may turn it into asphalt. And only 3 or 4 refineries across the world have the capability to process this kind of crude oil. One of these is in India, Western India, Gujarat. So the US wants to control all of this oil. It's about controlling the energy that flows out of Venezuela. And Delcy Rodriguez, she's a practical person, obviously. She saw what was done to Mr. Maduro. So she says, okay, since we can't do a thing about you being 1,000 times more powerful than us, we will cooperate with you. And the US is fine with that. And yet Trump has not been able to thus far persuade American oil companies to invest in Venezuela and start operations there, because the American companies are wondering and they're worried that maybe in the future Venezuela may once again nationalize the oil industry. So thus far American companies have been reluctant to move into Venezuela. But you have Venezuelan refineries and whatnot, or at least extractors, not refineries. I don't think Venezuela has refineries, but Venezuela has the ability to extract oil from the ground. And the US wants to control that. So as long as Delcy Rodriguez and the military cooperate with the US is fine with that. The US doesn't want to do the hard work of installing a new regime. Why do that when the existing regime is cooperating? Why do the hard work of installing an absolutely brand new regime and setting up a whole system of governance and law and order and judiciary and whatnot? Why do that? Who cares what happens to Venezuela as long as you get the oil? So the US has no issues as long as Delcy Rodriguez and the government of Venezuela cooperate. And they are cooperating. Right? This is a win-win situation for the US, actually. They don't have to do any hard work in Venezuela. They don't have to install a new government and all that. The existing regime cooperates. That is the best outcome the US could have hoped for. What's the alternative? The US has to go in, fight the military, depose the regime, effect an actual physical regime change, fight the insurgency that may erupt as a consequence, placate the people, suppress the people. A lot of effort, energy, money, expenditure, all kinds of things. And then you barely control the country, and then you can extract stuff out of it. That's a lot. It's a mess. Why do that? Just force the existing regime to cooperate. That's it. You get everything you want. So that is what's happening, and the US is gonna control all the energy resources of Venezuela. Right? It's part of their overall game plan of controlling as much of the energy supply of the world as possible in order to isolate nations like China and Russia. Russia won't work, but China for sure. And to put immense pressure on nations like India.